Hello, and welcome to today's reading. Today we will be reading out the Twitch TOS for you heathens, so that y'all know how to act. I have left my pipe over at the computer. Just 1 second. Do not worry about that. Yes, quite. Don't smoke. Now, as we can see here, as we start our little story for today, we get the introduction of your agreement to these terms of service. Please read these terms of service carefully. This is a binding contract. This is the contract that you make with Twitch upon signing up. Welcome to the services operated by Twitch Interactive Inc., collectively with its affiliates Twitch or We, consisting of the website available at https://www.twitch.tv, and its network of websites, software applications, or any other products or services offered by Twitch, the Twitch services. Other services offered by Twitch may be subject to separate terms. Now, as we get started here, I would just like to say that some of your stature, some of the people's stature in this community can be quite unsavory. We're here to fix that. Now, let us begin in reading ourselves some Twitch terms of services. When using the Twitch services, you will be subject to Twitch community guidelines and additional guidelines or rules that may be posted on the Twitch services made available to you, or disclosed to you in connection with specific services and features. Twitch may also offer certain paid services which are subject to the Twitch terms of sale, as well as any additional terms or connections that are disclosed to you in connections with services. All such and guidelines, the guidelines, are incorporated into these terms of service by reference. Need to scroll down the page here. We also might get into community guidelines. The terms of service apply whether you are a user that registers an account with Twitch services or an unregistered user. You agree that by clicking sign up or otherwise registering, downloading, accessing, or using the Twitch services, you are entering into a legally binding agreement between you and Twitch regarding your use of the Twitch services. You acknowledge that you have read, understood, and agreed to be bound by these terms of service. If you do not agree to these terms of service, do not access or otherwise use any of the Twitch services. When using Twitch or opening an account with Twitch on behalf of the company, entity, or organization, collectively, subscribing organization, you represent and warrant that you are an authorized representative of that subscribing organization with the authority to bind that organization to these terms of service and grant the license set forth herein, and agree to these terms of service on behalf of such subscribing organization. We now get onto our second topic. Use of Twitch by minors and blocked persons. The Twitch services are not available to persons under the age of 13. If you are between the ages of 13 and the age of legal majority in your jurisdiction of residence, you may only use the Twitch services under the supervision of a parent or legal guardian who agrees to be bound by these terms of services. The Twitch services are also not available to any users previously removed from the Twitch services by Twitch or any other persons barred from receiving them under laws of the United States, such as its export and re-export restrictions and regulations, or applicable laws in any other jurisdiction. By downloading, installing, or otherwise using the Twitch services, you represent that you are at least 13 years of age, that your parents or legal guardians agree to be bound by these terms of service if you are between 13 and the age of legal majority in your jurisdiction of residence, and that you have not been previously removed from and are not prohibited from receiving the Twitch services. We now get into our privacy notice. Your privacy is important to Twitch. Please see our privacy notice for information relating on how we collect, use, and disclose your personal information and our privacy choices on how you manage your online privacy when you use the Twitch services. We may get into that if we get that far into the reading. It might be a while. Number 4. Account. Account and password. In order to open an account, you will be asked to provide us with certain information such as an account name and password. You are solely responsible for maintaining the confidentiality of your account, your password, and for restricting access to your computer. If you permit others to use your account credentials, you agree that these terms of service on behalf of all other persons who use the services under your account or password, and you are responsible for all activities that occur under your account or password. Please make sure the information you provide to Twitch upon registration and at all other times is true, accurate, current, and complete to the best of your knowledge. Unless expressly permitted in writing by Twitch, you may not sell, rent, lease, share, or provide access to your account to anyone else, including, without limitation, charging anyone for access to administrative rights on your account. Twitch reserves all available legal rights and remedies to prevent unauthorized use of Twitch services, including but not limited to technology barriers, IP mapping, and in serious cases directly contacting your internet service provider regarding such unauthorized use. Now that means that anyone promoting such as, if you subscribe you get mod, that is bannable under Twitch TOS. Third-party accounts. Twitch may permit you to register for and log on to the Twitch services via certain third-party services. The third party's collection, use, and disclosure of your information will be subject to that third-party service privacy notice. Further information about how Twitch collects, uses, and discloses your personal information when you link your Twitch account with your account on any third-party service can be found in our privacy notice. Use of devices and services. Access to the Twitch services may require the use of your personal computer or mobile device, as well as communication and or use with space on such devices. You are responsible for any internet connection or mobile fees and charges that you incur when accessing the Twitch services. Number 6. Modification of these terms of service. Twitch may amend any of these terms of service by posting the amended term. Your continued use of Twitch services after the effective date of revised terms of service constitutes your acceptance of the terms. For residents of the Republic of Korea, Twitch will provide reasonable prior notice regarding any material amendments to its terms of service. All amendments shall become effective no sooner than 30 calendar days after posting, provided that any amendment regarding your newly available features of the service are beneficial to the user, or changes made for legal reasons may become effective immediately. Number 7. License. The Twitch services are owned and operated by Twitch. Unless otherwise indicated, all content information and any other materials on the Twitch service excluding user content sent out in Section 8 below, including, without limitation, Twitch trademark and logos, the visual interfaces, graphic design, compilation, information, software, computer code, including source code or object code, services, text, pictures, information data, sound files and other files, and the selection and arrangement thereof, collectively the materials, are protected by relevant intellectual property and the proprietary rights and laws. All materials are the property of Twitch or its subsidiaries or affiliates, companies, and/or third-party licensors, unless otherwise expressly stated in writing by Twitch. By agreeing to these terms of service, you are granted a limited, non-sublicensable license, i.e. personal and limited right, to access and use the Twitch services for your personal use or internal business use only. Twitch reserves all rights not expressly granted in these terms of service. This license is not subject to these terms of service and does not permit you to engage in any of the following: resale or commercial use of the Twitch services or the materials, distribution, public performance, or public display of any materials, modifying or otherwise making any derivative uses of Twitch services or the materials, or any portion of them, use of any data mining robots or similar data gathering or extraction methods, downloading except page caching of any portion of Twitch services, the materials or any information contained in them except as expressly permitted on the Twitch services, or any use of the Twitch services or the materials except for their intended purposes. Any use of the Twitch services or materials except as specifically authorized in these terms of service without prior written permission of Twitch is strictly prohibited and may violate intellectual property rights or other laws. Unless explicitly stated in these terms of service, nothing in them shall be interpreted as conferring any license to intellectual property rights, whether by estoppel, implication, or any other legal principles. Twitch can terminate this license as set out in Section 14. Alright. That is a little bit weird, I must say. No, Nagas. We will get to the use of sexual things on Twitch later. But it doesn't look good for that. And also, I'm allowed to be mobile to Vegas, because I'm cool. Like that. Number 8. User content. Twitch allows you to distribute streaming live and pre-recorded audio-visual works to use services such as chat, bulletin boards, forum posting, wiki contributions, and voice interactive services, and to participate in other activities in which you may create, post, transmit, perform, or store content. Messages, text, sound, images, applications, code, or other data materials on Twitch services user content. We shall be taking a quick intermission. No, honestly, I didn't know what this was going to do. I was hoping it'd just, work. But it's not blowing bubbles, so I have made a mistake. That one was... Why would you blow bubbles towards your... Why did I get this? I can't even tell if you can see the bubbles, but it's what I'm doing. I cannot see what that says from here. I will have to check that in just 1 second. This one's... That one blows bubbles, like, much better. Though I probably have destroyed it. This one's not meant for blowing bubbles, this one's just a replica. I don't smoke, and neither should you. It's bad for the lungs. Alright. That works even better than the one made for it. Oh, I'm all soapy. Somewhat better. Let me just... Yes, quite. Hmm. 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 You know, I'm gotta say, I'm a bit disappointed with bubble blowing kits as of late. Okay, that one worked. Hmm. Yes. Yes, quite. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. It's just bubble soap. It's just bubble soap, so I'm not too worried about kind of spilling it places. Ah. We can get a good bubble here. Okay, apparently we can't. My fan is right there. I need to be... Fuck. It's a pipe like everything else. Fuck. We will get back to reading the Twitch terms of service soon. I'm having fun blowing bubbles. God damn it. Ah, fuck. Almost. Fuck. This is a good stream. I just I got all this stuff for it and I want to use it. This seems like the best one for bubble blowing because it doesn't go directly into my face as I say that. There was no bus. It was all a figment of imagination. Fuck. Fuck, come on. I was doing it so well for a second. It's messing with me now. They bounce off the blanket, and I couldn't have asked for a better thing. Well, I could. Like, if my bubbles didn't come half open, that would be better. You son of a... Okay, that's enough. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. License to Twitch. Unless otherwise agreed to in a written agreement between you and Twitch that was signed by an authorized representative of Twitch. If you submit, transmit, display, perform, post, or store user content using the Twitch services, you grant Twitch and its sub-licenses to the furthest extent and for the maximum duration permitted by applicable laws, including in perpetuity if permitted under applicable law, an unrestricted, worldwide, irrevocable, fully sub-licensable, non-exclusive, and royalty-free right to a use, reproduce, modify, adapt, publish, translate, create derivative works from, distribute, perform, and display such user content, including without limitation from promoting and redistributing part or all of the Twitch services and derivative works thereof, in any form, format, media, or media channels now known or later developed or discovered, and use the name, identity, likeness, and voice, or other biographical information where was I? Biographical information. And you submit in connection with such user content, should such user content contain the name, identity, likeness, and voice, or other biographical information of third parties, you represent and warrant that you have obtained the appropriate consent and/or license for your use of such features, that Twitch and its sub-license are allowed to use them to the extent indicated in these terms of service. With respect to user content known as add-ons, maps, mods, or other types of projects submitted through curseforge.com or related sites, the submitted projects, the rights granted by you hereunder terminate once you remove or delete such submitted projects from Twitch services. You also acknowledge that Twitch may retain but not display, distribute, or perform server copies of submitted projects that have been removed or deleted. With respect to streaming live and pre-recorded audio-visual works, the right granted by you hereunder terminate once you delete such user content from the Twitch services, or generally by closing your account, except to the extent that you shared it with others as part of the Twitch services and others copied or stored portions of the user content. Twitch used it for promotional purposes and for the reasonable time it takes to remove from backup and other systems. User content representations and warranties. You are solely responsible for the user content and consequences of posting or publishing your representative warrant that 1. You are the creator of your own or control all right in and to the user content and otherwise have sufficient rights and authority to grant the rights granted herein. Your user content does not and will not infringe, violate, or misappropriate any third-party rights, including any copyright, trademark, patent, trade secret, moral right, privacy right, right of publicity, or any other intellectual property or proprietary right, or defame any other person. Your user content does not contain any viruses, adware, spyware, worms, or any other harmful and malicious code, and unless you have received prior written authorization, your user content specifically does not contain any pre-release or non-public beta software or game content or any confidential information of Twitch and third parties. Twitch reserves all rights and remedies against any users who breach these representations and warranties. Yes. Alright. Alright, I am looking through the chat just to see how y'all are feeling. Right now would be the perfect time to approach me with questions of the Twitch terms of service, or of any other nature, such as my undoing or why. Who wrote this masterpiece of literature? Why, it was the... Whoever wrote the Twitch terms of service is not listed under where it is written, sadly. However, I'm sure they are related to and or part of the Twitch TV organization. I cannot VC right now as I cannot get to my computer. Is the robe coming off? I don't believe I'm allowed to. I'll let you use your imagination. And do we have a hot tub stream on the way? A solid maybe, I would give. No. I'm not gonna take off clothes on my stream. Don't try me. You already got the top hat off, don't be greedy. Don't you try and butter me up now. You all are in timeout because of this. I'm reading off the Twitch terms of services for you heathens because you're in timeout. Alright. Shall we get back to our regularly scheduled program once again? Content is uploaded at your own risk. Twitch uses reasonable security measures in order to attempt to protect user content against unauthorized copying and distribution. However, Twitch does not guarantee that any unauthorized copying, use, or distribution of user content by third parties will not take place. To the furthest extent permitted by applicable law, you hereby agree that Twitch shall not be liable for any unauthorized copying, use, or distribution of user content by third parties, and release and forever waiver any claims you may have against Twitch for any such unauthorized copying or usage of the user's content under the theory the security measures to protect user content used by Twitch herein are provided and used as is, and with no warranties, guarantees, conditions, assurances, or other terms that such security measures will withstand attempt to evade security mechanisms, or that there will be no cracks, disablements, or other circumstances of such security measures. Users may promote, administers, or conduct a promotion, e.g. contest or sweepstakes, on through or utilizing the Twitch services. A promotion, if you choose to promote, administer, or conduct a promotion, must adhere to the following rules. You may carry out a promotion to the extent permitted by applicable law, and you are solely responsible for ensuring that any promotions comply with any and all applicable laws, obligations, and restrictions. You will be classified as the promoter of your promotion in the applicable jurisdiction, and you will be solely responsible for all aspects of and expenses related to your promotion, including, without limitation, the execution, administration, and operation of the promotion, drafting and posing any official rules, selecting winners, issuing prizes, and obtaining all necessary third-party permissions and approvals, including, without limitation, filing any and all necessary registrations and bonds. Twitch has the right to remove your promotion from the Twitch services if Twitch reasonably believes your promotion does not comply with the terms of service or applicable laws. Twitch is not responsible for and does not endorse any support any such promotions. You may not indicate that Twitch is a sponsor or co-sponsor of the promotion, and you will display or read out the following disclaimer when promoting, administering, or conducting a promotion. This is a promotion by blank. Twitch does not sponsor or endorse this promotion and is not responsible for it. Endorsements and Testimonials. You agree that your user content will comply with the FTC's guidelines concerning the use of testimonials and endorsements in advertising, the FTC's disclosure guides and FTC's native advertising guidelines, and any other guidelines issued by the FTC from time to time, the FTC guidelines, as well as any other advertising guidelines required under applicable law. For example, if you have been paid or provided with free products in exchange for discussing and promoting products or services through the Twitch service, or if you are an employee of a company and you decide to discuss or promote that company's products or services through the Twitch services, you agree to comply with the FTC's guidelines required for disclosing such relationships. You and not Twitch are solely responsible for any endorsements or testimonials that you make regarding any product or service through the Twitch services. Alright, political activity. Subject to these terms of service and the community guidelines, you may share political opinions, participate in political activity, provide links to the political committee's official website, including the contribution page of the political committee, and solicit viewers to make contributions directly to a political committee. You agree, however, that these activities are entirely your own. Moreover, by engaging in these activities, you represent the warrant, and you are eligible to engage in them under applicable law, and you will abide by all relevant laws and regulations while doing so. You agree not to solicit the use or use any Twitch monetization tools, e.g. bits or subscriptions, for the purposes of making or delivering a contribution to a candidates committee, political action committee, ballot committee, or any other campaign committee or otherwise, of the purpose of influencing an election. Candidates for political office are not eligible to use any Twitch monetization tools on their channels. Number 9. Prohibited conduct. You agree not to violate any laws, contract, intellectual property, or other third-party right, not to commit a tort, and that you are solely responsible for your conduct while on the Twitch services. You agree that you will comply with these terms of services, and Twitch community guidelines and will not create, upload, transmit, distribute, or store any content that is inaccurate, unlawful, infringing, defamatory, obscene, pornographic, invasive of privacy or publicity rights, harassing, threatening, abusive, inflammatory, or otherwise objectionable, impersonate any person or entity, falsely claim an affiliation with any person or entity, access the Twitch services account of others without permission, forge another person's digital signature, misrepresent the source, identity, or content of information transmitted via the Twitch services, or perform any other similar fraudulent activity. Send junk mail or spam to users of the Twitch services, including without limitation, unsolicited advertising, promotional materials, or other solicitation material, bulk mailing of commercial advertising, chain mail, information announcements, charity requests, petition for signatures, or any of the proceedings such as related to promotional giveaways such as raffles or contests, and other similar activities. Harvest or collect email addresses or other contact information from other users from the Twitch services. Defame, harass, abuse, threaten, or defraud users of the Twitch services, or collect or attempt to collect personal information about users or third parties without their consent. Delete, remove, circumvent, disable, damage, or otherwise interfere with a security-related feature of the Twitch services or user content. Features that prevent or restrict use of copying or any content accessible through the Twitch services, features that enforce limitations on the use of the Twitch services or user content, or the copyright or other proprietary rights notices on the Twitch services or user content. Reverse engineer, decompile, disassemble, or otherwise attempt to discover the source code of the Twitch services or any part thereof, except for only that the extent of this activity is expressly permitted by the law and your jurisdiction of residence. Modify, adapt, translate, or create derivative works based upon the Twitch services or any part thereof, except and only to the extent that such activity is expressly permitted by applicable law, notwithstanding this limitation. Interfere with or damage operation of the Twitch services or any user enjoyment by them, by any means, including uploading or otherwise disseminating viruses, adware, spyware, worms, or other malicious code. Relay emails from third-party mail services without the permission of that third party. Access any website, server, software, application, or other computer resource owned, used, or licensed by Twitch, including but not limited to the Twitch services by means of any robot, spider, scraper, crawler, or any other automated means for any purpose, or bypass any measures Twitch may use to prevent or restrict access to any website, server, software, application, or other computer resources owned, used, and or licensed by Twitch, including but not limited to the Twitch services. Manipulate identifiers in order to disguise the origin of the user content transmitted through the Twitch services. Interfere with or disrupt the Twitch services or servers or network connections, the Twitch servers, or disobey any requirements, procedures, political regulations of networks connected to Twitch services, use of the Twitch services in any manner that could interfere with, disrupt, or negatively affect or inhibit other users from fully enjoying the Twitch services, or that could damage, disable, overburden, or impair the function of Twitch services in any manner. The use or attempt to use another user's account without authorization from that user's. Attempt to circumvent any content filtering techniques we employ, or attempt to access any service or area of Twitch services that you are not authorized to access. Attempt to indicate in any manner without prior written permission that you have a relationship with us or that we have endorsed you or any products or services or any purposes, and use the Twitch services for any illegal purposes or in violation of any local, state, national, or international law or regulation, including without limitation laws governing intellectual property and other proprietary rights, data protection, and privacy. To the extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch takes no responsibility and assumes no liability for any user content or for any loss or damages resulting therefore from, nor is Twitch liable for any mistakes, defamation, slander, libel, omissions, falsehoods, obscenity, pornography, or profanity you may encounter when using the Twitch services. Your use of the Twitch services is at your own risk. In addition, these rules do not create any private rights of action on the part of any third party or any reasonable expectation that Twitch services will not contain any content that is prohibited by such rules. Twitch is not liable for any statements or representations included in user content. Twitch does not endorse any user content, opinions, recommendations, or advise expressly therein, and Twitch expressly disclaims any and all liability of connection with user content to the fullest extent permitted by applicable law. Twitch reserves the right to remove, screen, or edit any user's content posted or stored on the Twitch services at any time without notice, including where such user content violates these terms of service or applicable laws, and you are solely responsible for creating backup copies of or replacing any user content you post or store on Twitch services at your sole cost and expense. Any use of the Twitch services in violation of the foregoing violates these rules and these terms of services, and may result in, among other things, termination or suspension of your rights to use the Twitch services. For residents of the Republic of Korea, except in the case where Twitch responsibly considers that giving notice is legally prohibited, for instance when providing notice would either violate applicable laws, regulations, or orders from regulatory authorities, compromise an ongoing investigation conduct by a regular authority, or that any notice may cause harm to you, third parties, Twitch, and or its affiliates. For instance, when providing notice, harms, and security for the Twitch services, Twitch will, without delay, notify you of the reason for taking the relevant step. Alright. We have not gotten to that part of TOS, Gilly. There is no pornography allowed on Twitch. Poggers. Alright, and good to see you, Owen. It's not as much bubbles as it used to be. How much? We're only about halfway through. Alright, well, let's keep going. Respecting copyright. Twitch respects the intellectual property of others and follows the requirements set forth in the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA, and other applicable laws. If you are the copyright owner or agent thereof, and believe that content posted on Twitch services infringes upon your copyright, please submit a notice following your DMCA guidelines, which include further information about our policies, what to include in your notice, and where to submit your notice. Trademarks. Twitch, the Twitch logos, and any other products or services named, logo, or slogan used by Twitch, and the look and feel of the Twitch services, including all page headers, custom graphics, buttons, icons, and scripts, are trademarks, or trade dress of the Twitch, and may not be used in whole or in part in connection with any product or service that is not Twitch's, in a manner that is likely to cause confusion among customers, or in any manner that disparages or discredits Twitch without any prior written permission. Any use of these trademarks must be in accordance with the Twitch trademark guidelines. All other trademark reference in the Twitch services are the property of their respective owners. Reference on the Twitch service to any product, service processes, and other information by trademark, trade name, manufacturer, supplier, or otherwise does not constitute or imply endorsement, sponsorship, or recommendation thereof by any of us or any other affiliation. Third-party content. In addition to the user content, Twitch may provide other third-party content on the Twitch services, collectively the third-party content. Twitch does not control or endorse any third-party content and makes no representation or warranties of any kind regarding the third-party content, including, without limitation, regarding its accuracy or completeness. Please be aware that we do not create third-party content, update or monitor it, therefore we are not responsible for any third-party content on the Twitch services. You are responsible for deciding if you want to access or use third-party websites, applications that link from the Twitch services, the reference sites. Twitch does not control or endorse any such reference sites or information, materials, products, or services contained on the access through reference sites, and makes no representation or warranties of any kind regarding the reference sites in addition to your correspondence or business dealings with or participating in promotions of advertisements found solely through Twitch services and are such advertisers Access and use of reference sites, including the information, materials, products, and services on or available through reference sites, is solely at your own risk. Idea submissions. By submitting ideas, suggestions, documents, and/or proposals, the submissions to Twitch and/or its employees, you acknowledge that you agree that Twitch shall be entitled to use or disclose such submissions for any purpose in any way without providing compensation or credit to you. So basically, if you submit ideas to Twitch, they don't have to pay you for them. Is the general gist. Better. 14. Termination. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch reserves the right, without notice and its sole discretion, to terminate your license to use the Twitch services, including to post user content, and to block or prevent your future access to and use of Twitch services, including where we reasonably consider that A. Your use of the Twitch service violates these terms of service or applicable law, you fraudulently use or misuse the Twitch services, or C. We are unable to continue providing the Twitch services to you due to technical or legitimate business reasons. Our right to terminate your license includes the ability to terminate or to suspend your access to any purchased products or services, including any subscriptions, Prime Gaming, or Turbo accounts, to fullest extent permitted by applicable law. Your only remedy with respect to any dissatisfaction with the Twitch services, any terms of these services, any policy or practice of Twitch in operating the Twitch services, or any content or information transmitted through the Twitch services, is to terminate your account and to discontinue use of all kinds and any parts of the Twitch services. For residents of the Republic of Korea, except in the case where Twitch reasonably considers that given notice is legally prohibited, for instance when providing notice would either violate applicable laws, regulations, or orders from regulation authorities, compromise an ongoing investigation conducted by a regulatory authority, or that any notice may cause harm to you, third parties, Twitch, and/or its affiliates, for instance when providing notice harms the securities of the Twitch service, Twitch will without delay notify you of the reason for taking a relevant step. Oh, that's a lot of capitals there. Disputes. Indemnification. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable laws, you agree to identify, defend, and hold harmless Twitch, its affiliated companies, and each of our respective contractors, employees, officers, directors, agents, third-party suppliers, licenses, and partners, individually and collectively the Twitch parties, from any claim, losses, damages, demands, expenses, costs, liabilities, including legal fees and expenses arising out of or related to your access, use, or misuse of the Twitch services, any user content you post, store, or transmit in or through the Twitch services, your violation of the rights of any third party, any violation by you of these terms of service, or any breach of the representations, warranties, and covenants made by you herein, you agree to promptly notify the Twitch parties of any third-party claim, and Twitch reserves the right, at your expense, to assume the exclusive defense and control any of the matter for which you are required to indemnify Twitch, and you agree to cooperate with Twitch defense of these claims. Twitch will use reasonable efforts to notify you of any such claim, action, or proceeding upon becoming aware of it. Disclaimers. No warranties. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, the Twitch services and content and materials contained therein are provided as an as-is basis without warranties of any kind, either express or implied, except as expressly provided to the contrary in writing by Twitch. The Twitch parties disclaim all other warranties, statutory, express, or implied, including but not limited to the implied warranties of merchantability, fitness for a particular purpose, title, and non-infringement as the Twitch services, including any information, content, or materials contained therein. Twitch does not represent or warranty that the content or material on the Twitch services are accurate or complete, reliable, current, or error-free. Twitch is not responsible for typographical errors or omissions relating to text or photography, and while Twitch attempts to make your access and use of Twitch service safe, Twitch cannot and does not represent or warrant that Twitch services or our servers are free of viruses or other harmful components, and therefore you should use industry-recognized software to detect and disinfect viruses from any download. No advice or information, whether oral or written, obtained by you from Twitch or through the Twitch services will create any warranty not expressly stated herein. Oh my god, there's still so much to go through. Though we are getting pretty close to the end here. Let me just scroll back up to where we were. Limitation of liability and damages. Limitation of liability. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, in no event shall Twitch or the Twitch parties be liable for any direct, special, indirect, or consequential damages, or any other damages of any kind, including but not limited to loss of use, loss of profits, or loss of data, whether in an action or in contract, tort, including but not limited to negligence, or otherwise arising out of in any way connected with the use or inability to use the Twitch services. The content or the materials included, without limitation, any damages caused by or resulting from reliance on any information obtained from Twitch, or that results from mistakes, omissions, interruptions, deletions of files or emails, errors, deflects, viruses, delays in operation or transmission, or any failure to performance, whether or not resulting from acts of God, communications failure, theft, destruction, or unauthorized access to Twitch records, programs, or services, and in no event shall the aggregated liability of Twitch, whether in contract, warranty, tort, including negligence, whether active, passive, or imputed, product liability, strict liability, or other theory, arising out of or relating to the use or inability to use the Twitch services, exceed the amount paid by you, if any, for accessing the Twitch services during the 12 months immediately preceding the dates of the claim, or $100, whichever is greater. To the extent the applicable law prohibits limitation of such liability, Twitch shall limit its liability to the full extent allowed by applicable law. Alright. Reference sites. These limitations of liability also apply with respect to damages incurred by you by reason of any product or services sold by, provided on, or any reference sites, or otherwise by third parties other than Twitch, and received through or advertised on Twitch services, or received through any reference sites. Alright, I'm going to just change up my reading position here and set down my pipe for now. You acknowledge and agree that Twitch has offered the Twitch services, user content, materials, and other content information, set its prices, and entered into these terms of service in reliance upon the warranty disclaimers and limitations of liability set forth herein, that the warranty disclaimers and limitations of liability set forth herein reflect a reasonable and fair allocation of risk between you and Twitch, and that the warranty disclaimers and limitations of liability set forth herein form an essential basis of the bargain between you and Twitch. Twitch would not be able to provide the Twitch services to you on an economically reasonable basis without these limitations. Applicable law and venue. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, you and Twitch agree that if you are a subscribing organization or a consumer resident of a jurisdiction other than those in below, the following government law and arbitration provisions applies. Please read the following carefully, because it requires you to arbitrate disputes with Twitch and limit the manner in which you seek relief from Twitch. You and Twitch agree to arbitrate any dispute arising from these terms of services and your use of these Twitch services, except that you and Twitch are not required to arbitrate any dispute in which either party seeks equitable and other relief for the alleged unlawful use of copyrights, trademarks, trade names, logos, trade secrets, or patents. Arbitrations prevent you from suing in court or having a jury trial. You and Twitch agree that you will notify each other in writing of any dispute within 30 days of when it arises. Notice to Twitch shall be sent to Twitch Interactive Inc. It's the Twitch Interactive link, Interactive Incorporated address. You can find it on the terms of service yourself. You and Twitch further agree to attempt an informal resolution prior to any demand for arbitration, that any arbitration will occur in Santa Clara County, California. That arbitration will be conducted confidentially by a single arbitrator in accordance with the rules of JAMS, and that the state of federal court in Santa Clara County, California, have exclusive jurisdiction over any appeals of an arbitration award and over any suit between parties not subject to arbitration, other than class procedures and remedies discussed below. The arbitration has the authority to grant any remedy and would otherwise be available in court. Any dispute between the parties will be governed by this agreement and the laws of the state of California and applicable United States laws without giving effect to any conflict of laws, principles that may provide for the application of the law of other jurisdictions. Whether the dispute is heard in arbitration or in court, you and the Twitch will not commence against any other class action, class arbitration, or other representative action or proceeding. If you are a resident of any jurisdiction in which the provisions in the section above is found to be unenforceable, then any dispute, claims, or causes arising out of or in connection with these terms of service will be governed by and constructed on the laws of your jurisdiction of residence, and shall be resolved by competent civil courts within your jurisdiction of residence. Claims. You and Twitch agree that any cause of action arising out of the related to the Twitch services must commence within 1 year after the cause of action accrues, otherwise such cause of action is permanently barred. Miscellaneous. Waiver. If we fail to exercise or enforce any right or provision of these terms of service, it will not constitute a waiver of such rights or provisions. Any waiver of any provisions in these terms of service will be effective only in writing and signed by the relevant party. If any provisions of these terms of service is held to be unlawful, void, or any reason unenforceable, then the provision will be limited or eliminated in these terms of service to the minimum extent necessary and will not be affect the validity or enforceability of any remaining provisions. Assignment. These terms of service and any rights and licenses granted hereunder may not be transferred or assigned by you, but may be assigned by Twitch without restriction. Any assignments attempt to be made in violation of this term of service shall be void. Survival. Upon termination of these terms of service, any provision which, by its nature or express terms, should survive, will survive such termination or expiration, including but not limited to sections 7, 8, 11, 12, and 15 and 17. Entire agreement. The terms of service, which incorporate the terms of sale and the community guidelines, in the entire agreement between you and Twitch relating to the subject matter herein, and will not be modified except by writing signed by authorized representatives of both parties, or by a change of these terms and service made by Twitch as set forth in section 6 above. Request for information and how to serve a subpoena. All requests for information or documents related to potential, anticipated, or current legal proceedings, investigations, or disputes must be made using the appropriate level of legal process and must be properly served on Twitch via the corporate service company, Twitch National Registered Agent. Please find below the California address for the CSC. The CSC office in your jurisdiction may be located through the Secretary of State website. Please note that Twitch does not accept requests for information or documents or service or process via email or fax and will not respond to such requests. All requests must include information that you have and will help us identify relevant records, particularly the Twitch service at issued, e.g. the twitch.tv and username at issued, e.g. the Twitch username, specified information requested, and its relationship to your investigation. Please also note that limiting your request to the relevant records, e.g. a limited time period, will facilitate efficient processing of your request. Specific terms for Soundtrack by Twitch. Soundtrack by Twitch, Soundtrack, which is part of Twitch services, is a streaming tool designed to give creators the ability to play licensed music in the background of their live streams and upload on-demand videos of those live streams that do not include such music. By downloading, installing, and/or otherwise using Soundtrack, you agree that download, installation, and your use of Soundtrack will be governed by these terms of service. Twitch community guidelines, music guidelines apply as well, and we recommend that you review both resources prior to using Soundtrack. Soundtrack was born out of Twitch's desire to offer creators a wide variety of licensed music for live streaming. To make this possible, Twitch secured licenses with many different rights holders and continues to do so in order to add new tracks to Soundtrack stations and playlists. Twitch also designed Soundtrack to give creators the ability to generate on-demand videos for their live streams that do not include this music. The licenses Twitch secured allow Twitch to make these materials available to you for your use in live streams in your Twitch channel. Music and other materials made available through Soundtrack and have not been licensed for you in use of pre-recorded content such that can be streamed on demand, such as VODs and clips, and outside of Twitch services. What this means is you may not create on-demand content containing material from Soundtrack. We have designed Soundtrack with this restriction in mind, and the proper setup will allow you to create and use music-free on-demand videos of live streams that include Soundtrack's music, or live stream content that includes music or other materials from Soundtrack outside of the Twitch services. Doing any of the above may subject you to a notice of alleged infringement on rights holders and their agents. Last, we want to alert you to the fact that music rights tend to evolve over time. Thus, we reserve the right to modify or remove certain songs or other content from Soundtrack at any time, for example, as necessary to comply with our music licenses or with applicable laws. Twitch takes no responsibility and assumes no liability in connection with your use of Soundtrack. Alright. And this has been the first reading of the Twitch community guidelines. I may do this again in the future with the Twitch... Actually, this is the Twitch terms of service. I may do this again in the future with the Twitch community guidelines. And I believe that will be all for today. Thank you for joining me, and I will turn off the stream once I get up there. I'm just gonna finish up here. Luby, an awkward, clumsy fellow, a luber.